Hi, welcome. My name's Delaney. I'm just going to be speaking with you today. We're just going to be speaking probably for about 20 minutes or so, just to collect information about what's been going on so I can figure out how best to help you. And before we begin, I just wanted to let you know that everything that we say today is going to stay between you and me. It's going to be confidential, except in a few instances if you're mentioned hurting yourself or others, if there's any abuse that's mentioned that's ongoing or with a disabled population, or anything like that, just so we can make sure that you're safe and everyone in your life is safe. That's of the utmost importance. But other than that, everything is going to stay between you and me.
Okay.
So just to begin, at first, I'm going to be asking you a lot of questions today, but first I'm just going to want to collect some demographic information. So if you just want to tell me about yourself, your name, what you're up to, relationships, that sort of thing.
Okay. I'm Nick. I'm 20 years old. I'm from Franklin, Massachusetts, which is just like 40 minutes outside the city. I am a junior at Emmanuel College. I study communications, and I have a minor in psychology. Just dropped that down because I don't like statistics. I have 3 jobs. I have one on campus. I'm an administrative orientation leader. And then I have a part-time job at a retailer, Club Monaco. I do visuals there. And then I work as a front desk agent at the Riviera Hotel.
And how do you feel like you're able to balance all that work with school? And do you feel like that's going okay?
I think so. There are definitely some times where it's a little bit much, but I have gotten to be very good at time management. And I'm sorry. Yeah, my time management skills have definitely improved, and I'm learning how to prioritize and also kind of how to say no.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that those are some skills that are making it easier.
Good. And tell me a little bit about what's bringing you in today.
I just haven't really felt like myself lately. I think ever since the beginning of this year, everything just kind of seemed a little off. I used to be really into like going out and like partying on the weekends, but now it is, I don't know, it's a little bit more of an effort for me to get into that mindset, and that used to be something that was like important to me. And then also like the friendships that I have, like they seem to be kind of, I'm getting more introverted. I think I don't like to be alone. I'm very bad at being alone, but recently I found myself like putting myself in isolation just so I can like think freely, which has never really happened to me before. So I don't know. I feel like I'm not the same person that I was of last month. So it's.
And you feel like this is definitely a negative thing? You're saying you're a different person, but are you not happy about these changes?
I don't think I am. Was very sure of myself, and I think I'm not anymore. All of those things were very much part of who I was, and now that I don't really have them anymore, I don't know, it's making me
it's just a little lost.
Yeah, it's making me re-examine things, and I don't like it.
Yeah, no, for sure. And you said this, how long has this been going on?
I think I noticed it probably in the end of September.
Was there any major changes that happened during that time?
I think there was a lot, like September was a big month. I took on my hotel job. I got the AOL position. I 5 classes, like I don't know, just like the idea of being a junior. Yeah, like halfway through college, it's kind of scary. So it was just, I don't know. And Halloween, it's weird. October was like my favorite month, but I remember not noticing the beginning of it or like anything about it. Like everything that I used to notice about like the leaves and the smell in the air and candy corn I didn't.
Yeah.
And people were like commenting on it, and then it kind of made me realize it.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds like maybe it's not as happy as you have been, not as involved socially. Or how are your classes going? Are you able to keep up with your work and all that?
Yeah, it's been one thing that's gotten pretty bad this year is my like note taking style. I'm very particular about it, and it takes up a lot of time. Like I will take notes during class, and then I have to rewrite them afterwards and make sure that they're perfect, even though like it doesn't like do anything. But I won't be able to like think about anything else until then. And I have one professor that I think she's awesome, so I spend a lot of time like prioritizing her class where I could, potentially spend a little bit more time in another one. But overall, it's been going really well. It's one of my better semesters.
Good. And have you always felt the need to rewrite your notes and do all those things, or are those something that's new as well?
I know in middle school I used to go over everything, like every letter I would do twice.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just liked the way it looked. And then I've always had very neat handwriting, and then it's never been quite like this.
Okay. So it's been a change. How are you sleeping? How's that sort of thing?
I've never been much of a sleeper. I can do fine on 5 hours of sleep. Like that's kind of my average.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've learned to prioritize it kind of. Like I make sure that if I have to be up at 7, that I'm in bed by midnight, so I can just do work and relax until I eventually go to bed. So
good. It's good that you're prioritizing, sort of taking care of yourself.
Yeah. Which is it's different. I was never like that before either. I don't know.
So it doesn't sound. So it sounds like there are a lot of changes, and a lot of them have been negative. You haven't been happy about them, but some of them haven't been so bad. Like prioritizing sleeping and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. I definitely feel better most mornings now. I'm not as groggy and exhausted all day. But
good.
Yeah.
Good. Is there anything else before I move on to some other background stuff that you want to mention about all of this?
I don't think so.
Okay, good. We'll come back to this all at the end.
Okay.
So tell me a little bit about your family and growing up, all that sort of thing.
Okay. So I'm an only child.
Mm-hmm.
I was never breastfed, and that is something that it's like a joke in my family. Because I'm also the youngest in my entire family, and my parents and my cousins and everything it for some reason is just it's a weird punchline a lot of the time, and it I don't know, it comes up a lot, and it's kind of strange.
Does it bother you?
I don't get it. I'm just I wouldn't say it bothers me. It's just I don't know. It feels it kind of just feels like they're pointing out something that's missing, something that should be there that I never experienced or got a chance to.
Which isn't, it's not necessarily a bad thing that you weren't.
Yeah, I didn't have that interpretation until my Auntie Carol was making it the bottom line of her Christmas card letter or something. It's just weird. I come from a family of passive aggression. We're all everyone's very double-edged sword, under the table, backhanded compliment oriented.
Okay.
Let's see. My parents were both in their late 30s when they had me. I don't know anything about them, really. I know that I grew up in my mom's house. I know her family, except for 2 brothers that I've never been allowed to meet, which is, I don't know why. And I know where my dad is from.
Are they not together?
They are.
Oh.
It's just, they've never, told me anything about them.
Okay.
This summer, my best friend's mom got married, and they were talking about, the way that her and her father met, or that my friend's mom and my friend's father met. And my friend was oh, how'd your parents meet? And I was I don't know. It was, a weird thing. I feel very, out of the loop.
How do you, feel about, it sounds like there's some level of secrecy, or, do you think that's affected you at all?
I think it's so normal to me now that it hasn't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to say something stupid, but my mother is an Aries, so she's very stubborn and she's very private, and she is like very much not. She's not affectionate. She doesn't like reveal things unless she has to. So I don't think I expect it anymore.
Do you expect it from other people in your life? Do you think that's carried over to other relationships, that lack of communication, sort of?
I think so. I'm very much the kind of person where, like, if you don't, like, I'm always making effort. I don't like to be a closed book. I want to make sure that, I don't know, if I want to see someone, I tell them, hey, I want to see you. Like, I don't like subtlety. I'm not into subtlety. And so I definitely think I look for that kind of reciprocation of, like, the I miss you, like, how are you, the how was your day, like, when I ask how their day was. But I don't think the lack of it has ever necessarily impacted a relationship that I've had.
Okay. And how are your relationships with friends? Do you feel like you have friends, like, they're good, or tell me about that?
In high school, I was never the most, like, social person, and so I think coming to college, I had, like, a really close group of friends in high school, and then I think coming to college, I was like, I want to be a little social butterfly. So I think I have a lot of friends, and I don't hold back with them, and they don't hold back with me in terms of, like they know a lot about me, and they kind of, like, I don't know, I've never hidden anything from them, so I think I do have, like, firm, established friendships with a lot of people, and I love them all. I think sometimes the number overwhelms me when I know it did last year when it would be, like, a Saturday and I'd get texts from, like, 9 people being like, hi, come to this, like, party tonight, but I wouldn't be able to, like, make a decision. And I think that's definitely carried over into this year.
Okay. So. Do you think, so you said it's a little overwhelming, but overall, is it positive, would you say?
Yeah, because I love people. I just really like being around people, so I think it makes me feel more like how I feel the way that I like to feel when I'm with the people that I surround myself with.
And how about, are you in a relationship?
No.
And is that your choice? Are you happy with that?
I don't think I'm not happy about that. I don't think. I think that I have a lot to, like, give to someone, and it's very. I don't know. I haven't thought about that in a while. I think the last relationship I was in, I was the only one giving anything, and it ended up doing a lot of harmful things to me, and I think I would like to be able to do that again. I think I'm not letting myself in a lot of ways.
How long ago was this relationship?
So it started in January of my freshman year and ended in July, like, technically, and then started up again for kind of on and off all of last year until, like, from September to May.
Okay.
But he still goes to the school. He has a boyfriend, and we have a lot of friends in common. So I definitely see them a lot, and that's kind of hard. Considering a lot of a lot of the reasoning behind why things didn't work out was because he wasn't ready to, like, commit and, like, do things the right way. And then 2 months later, he was, but not with me. And I think that that's something that I've had some trouble.
And do you feel like it's you, or, do you feel like, you said he's not ready to commit, do you feel like you've put that on yourself at all?
Probably. That sounds like me. Sounds like something that I would do.
Well, I'm sure it's not, but we can go into that more.
Sure.
Okay. Is there anything else about that you'd like me to know?
Nothing particularly.
Thank you. Tell me about, with your family, is there any history of mental health problems?
My grandfather has Alzheimer's, and early onset Alzheimer's and dementia. So I think that's the only thing that I'm aware of.
Okay.
My mother has two brothers that I've never met, and I know that they have a lot. My aunt and I were very close when I was growing up because my mother worked a lot, so she would kind of take care of me after school, and she would tell me these stories about like Uncle Steve, like hurting animals and like flushing Barbie dolls down the toilet and like cutting off like my mother's hair while she was asleep, like things that I kind of know based on like honestly like movies and CSI are kind of signs of something, but nothing has ever been confirmed. I've never met him, and I don't even know what his status is right
now. Thank you. Yeah. And how about with yourself? Do you have any history of therapy, hospitalization, medication, anything like that?
I was in therapy for all of junior and senior year of high school, and then I was at a place where I thought that I didn't really need it anymore. I had a pretty rough junior year. I had a group of like best friends from kindergarten until then, and then I never really think of it as bullying, but that's what it was, and it got to the point where like they were like encouraging me to kill myself, and I never attempted or anything. It just became so. It was hard to like, I don't know, go into school and be like, oh, last week I would go up to like your locker and we'd talk in the morning and like I'd buy you a coffee, but today
Do you know if there was some like an event or something that happened that shifted that?
It was, I think because it had happened kind of to another, like a girl in our friend group. This group of three, we had a group of like six, and then the two other there was the three that kind of were behind all of it, and the other two were already targets. So they were kind of gone, like out of the picture, and I think I was just like the last one for them to focus on. I've always been like a pretty sensitive person. I'm a Pisces, and I think that they knew that, so I think they knew that it would work.
Okay, so it wasn't necessarily anything that happened, just that they weren't the nicest people and saw you as a target, sort of thing.
I think so, yeah.
And how do you think that's affected you?
I think immediately after it was a lot. I didn't have friends other than them, really. I was like isolated. I didn't have anyone to hang out with on the weekends. I didn't really have anyone to eat lunch with. And it wasn't until my senior, like a year later, that I was able to kind of make a connection with another person, and like my best friend Katie and my best friend Julia, like we kind of found each other.
Yeah.
After all that.
Well, it sounds good that you've been able to reconnect and open yourself up again to have really good friends again. Since then, that's really good. Have you ever been on medication? No, ever been hospitalized? Have you ever thought about harming yourself or harming someone else? Things I have to ask.
Yeah.
So, good. Let's talk about substance abuse. I'm just going to go through a list of different substances, and I just want to know if you have ever used, the frequency, and the amount, basically. We'll start simple and we'll get to harder ones. Caffeine.
Oh, yes. I do. I use it, and I use it often.
Drink a lot of coffee.
I do.
How many cups a day would you say?
If we quantify a cup as a shot of espresso, then anywhere from 6 to 8.
Okay. And have you ever had a time, like, Have you ever not done that and like noticed how it affected you?
Yes.
Affected you? Does
Over the summer I worked full time, and I would get coffees when I had to work, and I wouldn't on my days off because I would not get out of bed until like 3. So whenever I didn't need to be motivated and didn't need to do things, I guess I would abstain, and it would allow me to kind of relax fully.
Okay. Oh. Do you get like headaches or?
Like when I didn't drink coffee. No, because then at that time it would be like I would be well rested because I would have slept for a very long time. Okay. I was.
Okay, good. Yeah. How about alcohol?
Yep. I go out 3 nights a week. I really like vodka. I just really am. Last year it was pretty bad. I would consume a lot. I don't remember a lot of my experiences going out second semester, and then this year I think I've definitely toned it down, and it's been harder for me to get excited about drinking.
Okay. How about marijuana?
I had a phase in high school where it was like a good 3 months where I would smoke a lot, and then I just don't like it, so I haven't since then.
Okay. How about tobacco?
Yeah, I smoke every once in a while, usually when I drink.
Okay. And just how much would you say? Like when you do smoke, how many cigarettes or what tobacco, whatever you use?
Probably 1. Yeah, 1 or 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about any harder drugs? Cocaine, heroin, whatever?
I've done cocaine. I went to a concert the summer after my freshman year, and that was when I did it, and I did it and I didn't like it, so yeah, it just made me feel like jittery.
Okay, just that once.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever been concerned with any of these substances that we talked about? Have you ever been concerned or upset with the amount you're using or wanting to cut back?
I think it became a financial issue last year, and that was when it was towards the end of the year, so I think I was in a mentality where I was like, let's just do it, like let's go hard and end sophomore year on a bang. So I didn't really think about that. And then when I'm home, I don't really I worked so much that it never was an issue. I would have money, but I wouldn't spend it on that alcohol. I definitely took kind of the summer off from being crazy, which was probably a good thing.
Has anyone else that you know of ever come to you said that they're concerned with the amount that you consume any of these substances?
Not directly. I do have friends I have one friend who in a few instances has attempted to make me feel embarrassed for the things that I do when I have fun. I wouldn't even necessarily be under the influence, and she would make snap stories pretending I was, and just try making efforts to make me feel bad, and it was just don't. I don't know. I didn't.
How did you feel about that?
I wasn't happy. I don't think I've ever been in a position where I've tried to make other people feel bad about doing something that they were having fun, unless it was directly affecting me. But it wasn't affecting her, and I was really not pleased with it. So I let her know.
You were able to be assertive and tell her about that.
Yeah, assertive's a good word. I don't think I have a bad temper. I think that it takes a lot for me to get angry, and so then when I do, I just make sure that it doesn't happen again, because I don't like feeling like that.
Good. Is there anything else you'd like me to know about that? No. Just a quick question before we end. Is there any trauma, any big major life events that you think I should know
None that have happened to me necessarily. My senior year, my friend had a lot of mental health issues. She has borderline personality disorder with obsessive compulsive tendencies, and she made 3 suicide attempts during my senior year, so that was definitely a strain on me academically and kind of emotionally, because she refused to get help until I told her mom, and it had that it had to happen.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even consider that a trauma. It's just something that's definitely kind of shaped me, and it was something pretty devastating in a lot of ways that I think has made me the way that I am.
Yeah. Do you think it continues to affect you in some ways?
Mm-hmm.
And are you still close with this person?
Yep.
And how is she doing? Is she still?
She's good. She's seeing a DBT therapist, I believe, once every 2 weeks, because she's very busy with school. But they talk on the phone sometimes if she's feeling particularly.
Okay. So you don't have to worry about her.
No,
take that on for yourself.
Yeah, not anymore.
Okay, good. Good. So that's all I have. Thank you so much for sharing. It sounds good. Just like you've been having some trouble in the past few months, just not feeling like yourself, and it's definitely all stuff that we can talk about. Before we end, is there anything else that you'd like me to know? Okay, well then I'm gonna look through this and figure out what I think would be the best way to help you, and we'll meet next week.
Okay, awesome.